Captain Jeho Park stood at the bridge of his ship, the EDF stalwart, watching Earth's last defense line break apart. His hands gripped the command rail tightly. The year was 2157, and humanity was losing its fight for survival. "Sir, we've lost contact with the Mars colonies," reported Commander Sunok Kim. Her voice was steady, but her face showed deep worry. "The Novari ships have destroyed everything there." Jeho closed his eyes for a moment. 2 billion people had lived on Mars. Now they were gone. The aliens had come without warning 3 months ago. Their black ships had appeared near Pluto, and they had only one goal: to destroy all humans. "Status report on Earth's defenses," Jeho ordered, opening his eyes again. The large screen in front of him showed hundreds of red dots. The Novari ships, moving closer to Earth. "Bad news, sir," Lieutenant He Jin-jo said from his tactical station. "The moon base is gone. The defense satellites are at 15% capacity. We have only 20 ships left in our fleet." He paused and added, "The Novari have over 300 ships approaching." Jeho looked at the faces of his crew. They were tired, scared, but still fighting. They were humanity's last trained space fleet. The regular military had already fallen. The civilian ships trying to escape had been shot down. Earth's population of 10 billion had dropped to less than 3 billion in just 3 months. Then Engineer Taiyang Kang's voice came through the ship's speakers. "Captain, it's time. We must use Protocol Eternal Sleep. It's our only chance." Protocol Eternal Sleep was top secret. Only 5 people in the fleet knew about it. It was a desperate plan, created for humanity's darkest hour. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, the military had built special underwater bases. These bases could hide ships and keep their crews alive in suspended animation for hundreds of years. Jeho looked at the screen again. The Novari ships were now passing Jupiter. They would reach Earth in 6 hours. He made his decision. "Send the message to all remaining ships," he ordered. "Tell the civilian government we will make our last stand at Earth. But don't tell them about Protocol Eternal Sleep. The Novari must think they killed us all." The next 5 hours were busy. The 20 ships moved carefully to specific points above the Pacific Ocean. Engineer Kang sent the activation codes to the underwater bases. Meanwhile, the Novari came closer and closer. "Sir," Sunok said quietly, "the bases are ready, but how do we know this will work? How long will we sleep?" "The bases were built to last 500 years, Jeho answered. "We will sleep until Earth needs us again, until we can fight back." The Novari fleet appeared in Earth's orbit just as the last preparations were complete. Their black ships filled the sky like dark stars. They started bombing the planet immediately. "All ships, begin descent," Jeho ordered. "Activate stealth systems." The 20 ships dove toward the ocean. The Novari ships fired at them, but most of their shots missed. Several civilian ships launched at the same time, drawing the aliens' attention. As the stalwart broke through the clouds, Jeho saw the ocean below. Somewhere down there was humanity's last hope. His ship shook as it hit the water. Warning lights flashed as they went deeper and deeper. "Underwater base in sight," He Jin reported. "Docking sequence starting." Jeho watched as his ship, along with the others, entered the hidden underwater base. Giant doors closed behind them. The crews quickly moved to their sleeping pods. "Sleep system activated," Engineer Kang's voice said through the speakers. "Good night, everyone. See you when Earth needs us again." Jeho lay down in his pod. Above him, he knew the Novari were destroying what was left of human civilization. But they wouldn't find this base, and one day, when they least expected it, humanity would return. The pod's lid closed. Cold air filled it. Jeho's last thought before falling asleep was a promise. "This is not the end of humanity. This is just the beginning of our comeback." 400 years had passed since the fall of Earth. Da Mai Li walked through the quiet halls of the Novari Science Institute, her footsteps echoing against the metal floors. She looked like any other Novari scientist, with her tall frame and pale skin, but she carried a secret that would shake the Empire. Damai was different. Her great-grandmother had been human, one of the few who had survived by hiding among the Novari. Now, Damai worked as a historical researcher, studying the time when her people, the humans, were destroyed. She sat down at her desk and turned on her computer screen. The files she had found yesterday were still there, waiting. They were old military reports from the invasion of Earth, and they didn't match the official story. The human fleet vanished, she read quietly. 20 ships disappeared into the Earth's ocean. Search teams found nothing. Damai felt her heart beat faster. The history books said all human ships had been destroyed in the final battle. A door opened behind her. Damai quickly changed the screen. Her supervisor, senior researcher Wanshik, walked in. Like most pure Novari, he was very tall and had silver markings on his face. "Working late again, Dome?" he asked, looking at her screen. "Yes, sir," she answered. "Just reviewing the Earth conquest records." Wanshik nodded. Yes, a great victory for our people. The humans were too dangerous to let live. Their technology was advancing too quickly. He paused. "Though sometimes I wonder if we were too harsh." Damai looked at him carefully. This was the first time she had heard a Novari question the destruction of humanity. After Wanshik left, Damai opened a secret file on her personal device. It contained more evidence she had gathered over the years. Pictures of human-looking people living in hidden communities. Stories passed down through generations. And most importantly, old maps showing something deep in Earth's Pacific Ocean. She began typing a new entry. "The Novari didn't kill all humans. Some survived, like my family. We changed our bodies to look like them. We waited. We remembered. And now I found proof that somewhere under the ocean, humanity's last fleet still waits." A message appeared on her screen. It was from her friend Minho, who worked at the deep-sea mining operation on Earth. The message was short but made her hands shake. "We found something. Metal structures, very old. The sensors can't scan inside them. Come quickly." Damai looked out her window at the stars. The Novari Empire now controlled hundreds of worlds. They had become comfortable and certain of their power. They thought humanity was just a story to scare children. She started packing her research materials. The mining operation might have found the lost fleet. If those ships still existed, if their crews could be awakened, everything would change. But she had to be careful. If the wrong people learned what she knew, she would disappear like so many others who had asked too many questions. As she prepared to leave for Earth, Damai thought about her great-grandmother's last words. "Never forget who you are. Humanity isn't dead. We're just waiting for the right moment to return. The right moment might finally be here." Damai sent a coded message to other secret human descendants living among the Novari. They had waited 4 centuries for this chance. Now they had to be ready to help when humanity's lost fleet finally awoke. She looked one last time at the old military report on her screen. 20 ships had vanished into the ocean. 20 ships filled with the best soldiers and technology humanity had. And if Minho was right, they had finally been found. Damai turned off her computer and walked out of her office. Tomorrow she would be on her way to Earth, to the deep-sea mining operation, to humanity's last hope. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Sunok Kim opened her eyes for the first time in 400 years. The sleep pod's lid slowly lifted, releasing a cloud of cold air. Her mind felt foggy, but her military training quickly took over. She checked her surroundings, noting the soft blue emergency lights in the base. The pod's screen displayed basic information. Year 2578. Emergency revival sequence activated. External interference detected. Sunok's heart raced. Something had found them. She climbed out of her pod, her muscles surprisingly strong thanks to the pod's preservation systems. The room held hundreds of other pods, all still sealed. Only a few were beginning their wake-up process. "Commander Kim," a familiar voice called. Engineer Tai Yang Kang stood at the room's entrance, looking exactly as he had 4 centuries ago. "The base's sensors woke me first. We have a situation." They walked quickly to the base's control room. The screen showed several Novari mining ships on the ocean floor near their location. One drill had come dangerously close to their outer walls. "Their mining triggered our security systems," Tai Yang explained. "The base began waking the essential personnel first. Captain Park will wake up in about an hour." Sanok studied the screens. "What do we know about the current situation?" "About Earth." Tai Yang pressed some buttons, and information filled the screens. "The base's AI has been gathering data all these years. The Novari won. They control Earth and hundreds of other worlds now." He paused. "But they don't know we're here." More pods were opening. Lieutenant He-Jin Cho walked in, followed by other senior officers. They all looked confused but ready for action. "The Stalwart and other ships are still in perfect condition," Tai Yang reported. "The base's maintenance systems kept them ready. We can launch whenever needed." Sanok made a quick decision. "Wake up all essential crew members. We need to be ready to move before those mining ships find us." The next hour was busy. More crew members woke up, each quickly returning to their duties despite their long sleep. The base hummed with activity as systems came back online. Captain Jaiho Park entered the control room just as the first mining drill touched the base's outer wall. The sound echoed through the structure. "Status report," he ordered, as if he hadn't been asleep for centuries. "Sir, Novari mining ships above us," Sanok reported. "They don't know what they found, but they will soon. All ships are ready. 300 crew members are awake. The rest can be woken as needed." Jaiho looked at the screens showing the Novari ships. They were different from the warships he remembered, but they were clearly made by the same species that had destroyed Earth. "What's the status of our weapons?" he asked. "Everything works," Tai Yang answered. "Our technology is old, but it's still advanced. The Novari have gotten comfortable. They haven't made as much progress as they could have." Another drill hit the base. This time, alarms started ringing. "They're getting too close," He-Jin warned. 10 minutes before they breach our outer defenses." Jaiho stood straight and looked at his crew. "Then it's time. Humanity has slept long enough. Commander Kim, prepare the fleet for launch. Lieutenant Cho, ready all weapons. Engineer Kang, start the base's self-destruct sequence. We're not leaving anything for them to find." The crew moved quickly to their positions. In the ship bays, the 20 ships of humanity's last fleet powered up their engines. They had hidden to survive. Now they would return to show the Novari that humanity wasn't extinct. It was time for the Ghost Fleet to rise. Lieutenant He-Jin Cho watched the Novari mining ships through the Stalwart's view screen. In moments, humanity's last fleet would reveal itself. His hands moved quickly over the tactical controls, preparing weapons that had not been used in 4 centuries. "All ships report ready," Commander Sanok Kim announced from her station. "Weapons charge. Stealth systems active." Captain Jaiho Park stood at the center of the bridge. "Begin Operation Ghost. Lieutenant Cho, target their engines only. We want them scared, not destroyed." The 20 human ships rose from their underwater base like ancient sea monsters. Their dark hulls, designed to absorb radar and light, made them almost invisible. The Novari mining ships didn't see them coming. "First target locked," He-Jin reported. The Stalwart fired its quantum pulse cannons. Blue energy beams hit the closest mining ship's engines. The ship lost power immediately. "Second target," He-Jin continued. Another shot, another disabled ship. The Novari crews had no time to call for help. Engineer Tai Yang Kang's voice came through the ship's speakers. "Captain, their technology is very basic compared to ours. They focused on building more ships rather than making them better." This was good news. The human ships, though few in number, were still more advanced than current Novari vessels. 400 years of peace had made the aliens comfortable and lazy. All mining ships disabled. Hujin reported. No casualties. They're sending distress signals now. Jaiho nodded. Good. Now they know something's out here. But they won't know what. He turned to Sanok. Signal the fleet. We moved to Phase 2. The 20 ships vanished into the deep ocean, leaving the confused and frightened Novari crews to tell stories about ghost ships rising from Earth's waters. 3 days later, the fleet attacked a small Novari military base on Mars. They appeared from behind the planet's largest moon, struck quickly, and disappeared before reinforcements arrived. A week after that, they disabled a Novari supply convoy near Jupiter. Each attack was careful and precise. The human ships never killed unless they had to. They destroyed only military targets. They vanished before the Novari could respond. Soon, stories spread across the Empire about the ghost fleet that appeared and disappeared like shadows. On the Stalwart's Bridge, Hujin showed Captain Park a map of their attacks. The Novari are confused. They're sending ships to protect their bases, but they can't be everywhere at once. Our quantum drives let us move faster than their ships. And they still don't know who we are. Sanok added. Some think we're a new alien species. Others believe we're pirates with stolen technology. Jaiho studied the map. Have they increased security around Earth? Yes, Hujin answered. But that's what we wanted. More ships around Earth means fewer ships at their other bases. And he paused as new information appeared on his screen. Sir, we're receiving a coded transmission. It's using an old human encryption system. The bridge crew fell silent. No one had used human codes in centuries. Source? Jaiho asked. From inside the Novari Science Institute, Hujin replied. The message is signed by someone named Dame Mai Li. She said she's been waiting for us, and she wants to help. Jaiho looked at his crew. After weeks of hitting Novari targets, they had finally found what they were really looking for. Survivors. Humans who had lived among the Novari, waiting for the fleet to return. Send a response, he ordered. Tell this Dame Mai Li that the ghosts of Earth's past are ready to meet her. Dame Mai Li stood alone in the empty warehouse on Mars Colony 3. Her heart beat quickly as she waited. The message had said they would meet her here, the ghosts from Earth's past. She had risked everything to come. A soft sound made her turn around. Commander Sanok Kim stepped out of the shadows, wearing civilian clothes but standing like a soldier. 2 more figures appeared beside her, Lieutenant Hujin Cho and Engineer Taiyang Kang. You look like them, Sanok said quietly, studying Delme's Novari features. But our scans show human DNA. Delme nodded. My great-grandmother was human. She survived by changing her body to look Novari. Many of us did. We had to hide to live. Hujin watched the doors while Taiyang scanned the area for listening devices. They had chosen this location carefully, far from Novari security sensors. Tell us what you know, Sanok ordered. Why did the Novari attack Earth? Damai took out a data device. I found the real records. The Novari leaders were scared of humans. Your technology was growing too fast. In just 100 years, humans went from basic spaceflight to quantum drives. The Novari had taken 500 years to do the same. She showed them more files. They thought humans would take over the galaxy if they waited even 10 more years, so they attacked first. But they didn't find your hidden fleet, and that scared them even more. Taiyang looked at the technical data. These files show they've barely improved their ships in 400 years. They focused on building more colonies instead of better technology. Yes, Delmai agreed. They became comfortable. Why improve when you have no enemies? She paused. But there's more. Some Novari disagree with what their ancestors did. My supervisor, one Shik, helps hide people like me. There's a whole secret network. Sanok's communication device beeped softly. Captain Park's voice came through. Novari patrol ships approaching the colony. 10 minutes until they're in range. Show us your network, Sanok said to Demai. We need allies inside the Novari Empire. Demai quickly shared more data. There are thousands of us, human descendants, and Novari who want change. We have people in their government, their military, even their royal family. We've been waiting for a chance like this. Tai Yang downloaded the information. This changes everything. We're not just 20 ships against an empire. We have friends behind enemy lines. Hajin spoke from his position by the door. 5 minutes until patrol arrival. Delmai looked at them seriously. The Ghost Fleet's attacks are working. The Novari are scared. But we need to be careful. If we push too hard, they might destroy everything to stop us, just like they tried to destroy Earth. Sanok nodded. Come with us. You'll be safer on our ships, and we need your knowledge. They moved quickly through the shadows of the warehouse. Outside, a small shuttle waited, hidden by the same stealth technology as the fleet. As they flew back to the Stalwart, Damai watched Mars Colony 3 disappear behind them. She thought about her great-grandmother's stories of Earth, about the centuries of hiding, about all the others like her waiting for this moment. The Ghost Fleet had returned, and now they had allies. The real fight for humanity's future was about to begin. The secret meeting room deep inside Europa Base was full. Captain Jeho Park stood before a group of 30 people, some human descendants like Delmai, others sympathetic Novari. At the front of the group stood Yum Hee Choi, the leader of the Hidden Human Network. For 4 centuries, we waited, Yum Hee said to the room. We built this network person by person, family by family. Now the Ghost Fleet has returned, and it's time to act. Jeho nodded. In the months since meeting Delmai, the fleet had discovered just how extensive the Hidden Human Network was. Thousands of people had maintained their human heritage in secret, while many Novari had grown to question their empire's violent past. The fleet's attacks have made the empire nervous, Commander Sanok Kim reported. She pointed to a map showing their recent victories. Their ships patrolled in large groups now, leaving many areas undefended. Engineer Ta Yang Kang added his own report. Their technology is falling behind. They can't explain how our old ships defeat their new ones. Some Novari scientists have started asking questions about the past. A tall Novari stood up. It was one Shik Delmi's supervisor from the Science Institute. Many of us have access to important facilities. We can help from inside the empire. But we must be careful. The royal family is watching for any sign of rebellion. Lieutenant He Jin Cho displayed tactical information on the room's main screen. We've identified key targets across the empire. Military bases, communication centers, supply routes. With help from our network, we can strike them all at once. The room grew quiet as people considered the risk. What they were planning wasn't just a few attacks. It was the beginning of a full rebellion against the Novari Empire. If we fail, Damai warned, everyone in this room and thousands more will die. The Empire will kill anyone connected to humans. Yun Hee stepped forward again. We've lived in fear for 400 years. We changed our bodies, hid our history, and watched the Empire grow stronger. But we survived. Now we have a chance to take back our freedom. Jeho looked at the gathered people, humans and Novari, working together against an empire built on lies. My fleet will lead the attacks, he said, but we need all of you. The empire thinks they killed humanity. Let's show them how wrong they were. The next week was busy with preparation. The network shared detailed information about Novari defenses. One Shik and other sympathetic Novari arranged for security systems to fail at key moments. The Ghost Fleet prepared for its biggest operation yet. On the Stalwart's Bridge, Jeho received reports from across the empire. Hidden human communities were ready. Novari allies were in position. Even some Imperial ships had secretly joined their cause. All ships report ready, Sanok announced. The network is standing by. Jaiho thought about Earth, about the centuries his crew had slept, about all the people who had waited for this moment. "Send the signal," he ordered. "The rebellion begins now." Across the Novari Empire, alarms began to sound. The Ghost Fleet appeared above major worlds. Communication centers went dark. Supply ships changed course. Imperial databases began releasing hidden truths about Earth's destruction. The Empire had spent 400 years believing humanity was dead. Now, humanity had returned, stronger than ever, ready to fight for its place among the stars. The space around Saturn glowed with weapons fire. Captain Jaiho Park watched from the Stalwart's Bridge as the largest fleet battle in 4 centuries unfolded before him. The Novari Empire had gathered 3,000 ships to destroy the rebellion once and for all. Enemy ships approaching from 3 directions, Lieutenant He Jin Shou reported. His voice remained calm despite the danger. "They're trying to trap us against Saturn's rings." The Ghost Fleet's 20 ships moved in perfect formation. Around them, 200 ships commanded by Novari rebels fought alongside them. It wasn't enough to match the Empire's numbers, but they had a plan. Status of Operation Truth. Jaiho asked Commander Sunok Kim. "Dai Mai and Wonshik are inside the enemy command ship," she answered. "They're working to access the main computer. We just need to keep the Imperial fleet busy." The enemy ships opened fire. Thousands of energy beams lit up space, but the Ghost Fleet's advanced shields held strong. Their quantum drives let them move faster than any Imperial ship. "Execute attack pattern Ghost," Jaiho ordered. "Show them what Earth's technology can do." The 20 ancient ships split into pairs. They used Saturn's rings for cover, appearing and disappearing like real ghosts. Their weapons were old but powerful. Each shot disabled or destroyed an Imperial ship. "Enemy fighters incoming," He Jin warned. "At least 10,000 small ships." Engineer Ta Yang Kang's voice came through the speakers. "Activating the quantum field now." A blue energy field spread from the Ghost Fleet. The enemy fighters flew into it, and their engines died immediately. The simple Imperial technology was no match for Earth's quantum systems. Inside the Imperial command ship, Dai Mai and Wonshik worked quickly. They had smuggled themselves aboard using their network's help. Now they reached the ship's main computer room. "Downloading the true records now," Dai Mai reported through a secure channel. "Files about Earth's destruction, about human survivors, about everything the Empire tried to hide." Aboard the Stalwart, Jaiho received an urgent message from Sunok. "Imperial reinforcements arriving. Another 1,000 ships. We can't hold them all off." Jaiho looked at the tactical display. His fleet was winning its battles, but there were too many enemies. They needed more time for Dai Mai to complete her mission. "All ships, form defensive circle," he ordered. "Concentrate fire on their command ships. We just need to hold on a little longer." The battle grew more intense. Several rebel ships were destroyed. The Ghost Fleet's shields were weakening. The Imperial forces pressed their advantage, moving closer and closer. Then Dai Mai's voice came through. "Download complete. Broadcasting now." Across every ship in the battle, screens came to life. The true history of Earth's destruction played for all to see. The Empire's lies were exposed. Evidence of human survivors and Novari crimes spread across the Imperial network. "Imperial ships are stopping," the Jin reported with surprise. "Multiple vessels powering down weapons. They're standing down." The broadcast continued. More Imperial ships stopped fighting. Some turned their weapons against other Imperial vessels. The carefully built lies of 4 centuries were falling apart. "Message from the Imperial command ship," Sunok announced. "They're requesting a ceasefire. The Imperial Council wants to talk." Jaiho looked at the battlefield. The rebellion had succeeded not through total victory in battle, but by revealing the truth. Now they had a chance to build a different future. "Send our response," he ordered. "Tell them humanity is ready to talk. But this time, as equals. 1 month after the Battle of Saturn, Captain Jaiho Park stood in the grand meeting hall of the Novari Imperial Palace. The room was filled with both Novari and human leaders. On one side sat the Imperial Council. On the other side were representatives from the Ghost Fleet and the Human Network. Damai Li stood at the center of the room, presenting evidence she had gathered over years. "The truth has united us," she said. "Many Novari have learned that their ancestors' fear of humanity was wrong. Now we have a chance to build something better." Commander Sunak Kim watched from her position near the door. The past month had brought many changes. Across the Empire, hidden human communities had emerged. Novari citizens had learned the real history of Earth's destruction. Some were angry, but most wanted peace. The Ghost Fleet proved something important. One Shik told the Council, "Humanity's technology from 400 years ago could still defeat our current ships. Imagine what we could achieve if we worked together instead of fighting." The head of the Imperial Council, an elderly Novari, stood up. "For centuries, we built our empire on lies. We taught our children that destroying humanity was necessary. But seeing your fleet, meeting survivors like Damai, we understand our mistake. We cannot change the past, but we can shape the future." Engineer Taiyang Kang presented the next proposal. "We suggest creating a joint council, humans and Novari working together. We can share technology, rebuild Earth, and explore space as partners." Lieutenant He Jin Cho added his own report. "Already, many Imperial ships want to learn from our fleet. They see how quantum drives and advanced shields could help protect all our worlds, not just fight wars." The Imperial Council members talked quietly among themselves. Then their leader spoke again. "We accept these terms. The Empire will become a partnership between our peoples. Earth will be restored as a shared homeworld. The Ghost Fleet will train a new combined defense force." Jaiho stepped forward. "There's one more thing. We need to wake up the rest of our crews. Thousands of humans still sleep in pods under Earth's ocean. They deserve to see this new world we're building." The Council agreed. Over the next few weeks, ships from both sides worked together to help revive the remaining crew members. The underwater base became a museum, a reminder of how humanity had survived. Yoon Hee Choi, the leader of the Human Network, helped create new laws protecting both species' rights. Schools began teaching the true history. Scientists from both sides started sharing their knowledge. 1 year later, Jaiho stood on the bridge of the Stalwart again. But this time, his crew included both humans and Novari. They were on their first joint mission, exploring space beyond the old Empire's borders. "It's strange," Sunak said, standing beside him. "We went to sleep ready to fight for humanity's survival. We woke up and ended up saving both species from their fears of each other." Damai, now a senior advisor on the Joint Council, smiled. "My great-grandmother used to say that survival wasn't just about staying alive. It was about keeping hope alive. The Ghost Fleet did that. You carried humanity's hope through 4 centuries of darkness." Jaiho looked at his mixed crew, at the stars ahead, at all the possibilities before them. "The fleet can stop being ghosts now," he said. "We're not haunting the Empire anymore. We're building a new future together." The Stalwart moved forward into unexplored space. Behind it, Earth was being rebuilt. The old wounds were healing, and humanity had not just survived. It had helped create something better than survival. It had created peace.